fast speed, baby.
That is really super. How'd a nitwit like you get so tasteful?
Yeah. Dreaming of places that we could go or something. Maybe I'll Boca Raton. She been way insecure, she doesn't know what to put on. But I told her she looks amazing in anything. The way that we vibing might have to give a diamond ring. I have to stay true to myself. All of my insecurities might be my downfall. This feel like a bad cycle. One day I'm all in, next day I don't know. I'm hoping it do change. I'm trying to make a few dollars out of my loose change. I'm calm on the outside, but inside's like propane. I'm trying to get that old feeling back like it's road game. See how the game's changed. It's really been hard to engage. I've been way too insecure. I've been up, I've been down, and I really don't know. I've been way insecure. Yeah. I've been way insecure, I don't know what to do. Battling highs and lows, I have so much to prove. Still on my sophomore, please do not stress me. Please do not text me. It's been a long day, and I'm still working. Baby, don't vex me. He claimed me big fish, well I like fish fry. Got weight on my shoulder, could push me off deep end. Wanna start a convo? Well, that depends. My dream like a blinding light, but I'm still trying to be a star boy like The Weeknd. You not everybody gon' love, let it sink in. You try and change for who? I don't want to ask for help. That's the curse of my pride. Not if I pay good, but am I truly alive? I'm trying to be debt free. Student loans on my ass, and I don't think I'ma outrun them. I was in quarantine, but it felt like I was soul searching. Dreaming of places that we could go or something. Maybe I Boca Raton. She been way insecure, she doesn't know what to put on. But I told her she looks amazing in anything. The way that we vibing might have to give a diamond ring. I have to stay true to myself. All of my insecurities might be my downfall. Cuban in my mouth, cruising Port of Miami. Life is good at the moment. I almost let the insecurities of others that didn't follow dreams drown me. I almost lost my way, like we were lost at sea, and somehow everything I ever wanted got cloudy. My dreams speak to me, and I hear that shit so loudly. Like, what's the next step for me? What is my true purpose? Somehow I found all of the answers while up in quarantine. My brother Nick told me he sees how much I need it. This music shit means more to me than surgeons working orthopedics. The way my life been going from the highs and lows, I promise you Ripley's wouldn't even come believe it. I overcame all of this cause I went ahead and set goals and told myself don't stop until you reach them. Episode of The Wire, the way I go in pieces. I'ma take what's mine just like I'm Liam Neeson. AI to the bullshit, the way that I always catch him reaching. Antonio Daniels, the way that I always gotta teach him. I was down bad, but you know I get right back in rhythm. Don't let that doubt creep into your mind, gotta stay persistent. Up in the mirror, you see why it's me versus me. All these thoughts running through my mind while in quarantine. But somehow I found all my dreams while in quarantine. People change, women change, nigga keep it player. That's on the game. Blueface Poppy, what she call me? Yep. But she said it was some hood slang. Your favorite rapper bullshitting if Duce ain't on it. I tip the Richter every time I let one Houston rock it. A couple bands in my pocket made it dolo. I beat the kitty up like I'm playing girl. Your favorite rapper hard, now that nigga so-so. Around 124, that nigga is a no-go. My shit jumping like it's hot grease on you. I play the backboard, all I know is on you. I was really in the South, running out of options. Had a few dollars, but we always got it poppin'. Slave for that degree, so I know it's sacrificing. And a nigga fell in love with all his vices. Energized like the Energizer Bunny. Hands getting itchy when I see the money. I've been up writing verses since 5:30. The early bird get the worm, well I'm hella early. Playing for the keeps with you. The confidence got me in the zone for you. Okay, jumping like it's hot grease. Okay, jumping like it's hot grease. I play it for the keeps with you. Confidence got me in the zone for you. Okay, jumping like it's hot grease. Okay, jumping like it's hot grease.
Still don't give a fuck. Middle finger up. Shooter in a cut, he might up it cause you sus. Caught her up a Uber, heard you made her take the bus. Damn, I don't have no trust, I might make her fall in lust. Whoa, I got the models around me, we would've survived in the county. Pull up and stun on your dad, and fuck it, I jump on the fucking shit. And my wrist game is snowfall, nigga, yeah, snowball, bitch. And I never drop the ball, but I bet I drop hits. Say she love fucking rappers cause she know we all rich. Wasn't good at math B, but I'm good at whipping bricks. I'm her first orgasm, so I bet she reminisce. Ladies first, I tell her go, but I bet that she insists. And I'ma treat her how I treat her, yeah. I'm smoking thighs like Wiz Khalifa, yeah. It's on and poppin' when I see her. You tryna save her, you should fear her.
I play it for the keeps with you. The confidence got me in the zone for you. Okay, it's jumping like it's hot grease. Okay, it's jumping like it's hot grease. I play it for the keeps with you. Confidence got me in the zone for you. Okay, it's jumping like it's hot grease. Okay, it's jumping like it's hot grease. Okay, it's looking like it's all on me. Everybody wanna trap until it's on to me. My dog's hungry and your squad looking like a feast. I been in the gym, nigga got his weight up. Days of Waffle House, I couldn't tip the waiter. $100 to my name, don't need no favors. Jordy still hitting my line, I got the flavors. And a nigga need a profit now or later. They like where I been, chillin' on the west side, chillin' at the west end, invested in myself, nigga, times 10. I remember days of the battle rap at the lunch table, scared I've been, but I ain't been scared since. But we ain't been scared since. When I used to talk about the grind and the dream, used to be worried. Now you know a nigga ain't flinching. As you can see, I am black and I'm gifted. Backhanded conversation, stay on pivot. Duce, you got way better, yeah, no kidding. That's what happens when you go and put the work in. My tumble distractions. Eric, my tumble showed me anything's possible. He overcame Philly in the Meek Millies. Now we in the city and we toast to achievements. Look what God's blessed me with, I'm still dreaming. Most these niggas try to be on Drake shit, but somehow they still end up scheming. I barely touch the surface, ain't even put a foot in. Everybody talk, but they never put the work in. From Henny out the bottle to water for crystals. I don't speak much, but my name hold weight like the highest credentials. Aim way nice, impact like a missile. Almost lost myself to the glitz and glam. Dari just pulled off in a brand new lounge. Down. Sorry, showed me stand up for what you believe. You never know what you will achieve. We always had a drive, but we just needed the key. Just needed the They like where I been, chillin' on the west side, chillin' at the west end. Invested in myself, nigga, times 10. I remember days of the battle rap at the lunch table, scared I've been, but I ain't been scared since. But we ain't been scared since. They like where I been, chillin' on the west side, chillin' at the west end. Invested in myself, nigga, times 10. I remember days of the battle rap at the lunch table, scared I've been, but I ain't been scared since. But we ain't been scared since.
Yeah, they like where I been, can't pin the locations I'm in. Chasing moolah, guap, Euro stint, cause damn my little chica love to spin. Ballin', yeah, I'm high above the rim. Ballin', yeah, I'm high above the rim. Shooting for the stars, been in the gym. If you cross the line, shoot at his brim. Booking a flight as a now, straight speeding through traffic, we flying around. Don't care what these niggas think of me. These niggas ain't making no history. She hit me, I'm lying her down. She posted the crib, just lying around. Me and my niggas gon' get it, them boys from the village since I took you feel.
They like where I been, chillin' on the west side, chillin' at the west end. Invested in myself, nigga, times 10. I remember days of the battle rap at the lunch table, scared I've been, but I ain't been scared since. But we ain't been scared since.
This one got me cruising around the city late at night, yeah. Shorty in my DM looking for time of her life, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. This one got me feeling a dollar for feature. You hang with them duckies, claim they Mona Lisa, never keep her eye. Got the antidote cooking and beaker. 301 the home team jumping out the gym like limb buyers, huh? Chocolate nigga on my F's, love for the game, huh? Western Snipes the way to go, drip around my neck, huh? 1500 for the neck, piece for the flex, huh? You trying too hard here, I can teach you better, huh? Shorty love me cause I keep the Gucci to the flip-flops. Haters claim they hard, but they shit hit like hip-hop. Are you kidding me? My shit do numbers like it's K-pop. Plotting on the Maybach, bitch. This one got me cruising around the city late at night, yeah. Shorty in my DM looking for time of her life, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. This one got me cruising around the city late at night, yeah. Shorty in my DM looking for time of her life, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit.
This one I can hop in and crank it up at night, yeah. Patty on my line say when she see me, it's on sight, yeah. She just wanna come around, see this life for real, yeah.
And she brought a Fiji water bottle full of pills. Yeah, she want me to cop a bag for her. I'm like, what's the reason? She a pocket watcher, we out places. I just do the visas. Last nigga claim he was cold. Yeah, your boy freeze across the state. She on my side, shawty like a beat with gold links around my neck. Slick Rick the ruler to the crib. She on top, rubbing on my cupid. She don't need much, she be fine with us, just coolin'. We hit the road, touch the road, cruising. This one got me cruising around the city late at night, yeah. Shorty in my DM looking for time of her life, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. This one got me cruising around the city late at night, yeah. Shorty in my DM looking for time of her life, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. She wanna hang with rappers cause she know we get it lit, yeah. Niggas be claiming they rappers, but I really know they just joking about it. They never studied and vacated sucks, but they would figure they would drop it. Now they mans hype them up, now they mans gas them up. All of them guns in they videos, the niggas never shoot them up. I been chillin' in the cut, you know racking wins out, you know counting ends out. Went from a bus out of foreign, it all started in the basement. Won't stop till we torn. What could they tell us? We drown in the hate and we always knew we would make it. Most of these niggas be talking, but they are not saying too much. I'd rather put the work in cause I know it's worth it and in God I trust. I used to want my dreams come overnight, but I know that shit come at some prices. That's not how it's destined for me. That's not how it's destined to be. Niggas thinking cause I been quiet that I went and I slipped and fell off. Actually I wasn't doubled up. Working double till it's double stuff. I die for this shit like I'm catting this. And we are not on the same frequency. I don't know what's gotten into me. I don't know what's gotten into me. Actually, I got the keys to the vault and I treat it like my old lady. You know that I'm killing, I'm digging it out. Now you see what all of that chatter is about. You see on my bladder can never stay up. You see I got problems with staying content. The high from my project, it came and it went. Thankful for all of the listeners for letting me show my life out and letting me vent. I am forever dead. I have a paper fetish. If I don't see a lane, then I will just make a lane. If I don't see a way, then I'll just make a way. It's feeling something like a breakaway. Feeling like Anthony Edwards, and I could care less about your network. Niggas be claiming they rappers, but I really know they just joking about it. Niggas be claiming they rappers, but I really know they just joking about it. Niggas thinking cause I been quiet, then I went and I slipped and fell off. Yeah. Niggas be talking that bullshit until they come and meet the boss. We hungry for the paper and I can't chill till I get that Ricky Ross. He got that juice, I got sauce. I can trip off of my losses, cause look how much that we have gained. Duce, be proud of yourself. Look how much that you changed. Had to kick old habits trying to hold me back like I grow in pain. I'm on the ass like major pain. Came to make a major change. And we can care less about a chain. We can care less about your chain. We can care less about all of the diamonds and all of the profit. I'm all in they pockets like Capital One, my nigga. What is all in your wallet? I'm finding myself at the bottle of bottles. Some dreams that were hollow with promises that were kept. Had to believe in myself, my adrenaline pumping. Never gonna stop until I gain all the power and all the respect. I was the secret that was quiet, but I promise you that I never ever slept. I did 10,000 then another bit to show them why when I drop I don't miss. Keeping my foot on the pedal, trying to Let me tell you about, 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 let me tell you about all I need. Let me tell you about all I've seen. We was living in a whole pandemic, but it just brought me closer to my dreams. Working these graveyard shifts. If you don't have a dream, you don't know what I mean. Know what I mean? If you ain't never dreamed, you don't know what I mean. Know what I mean? 2020 was the year I took steps. 2020 the year grind, less flex. 2020 was the year of depression and way more stress. 2020 I learned that if they don't love me, then they get left. 2020 was the year I chose me. 2020 I was chilling out South Beach, but I'm in a new mood. Shorty bad, but she ain't with goop troops. If you always speak the truth, you never lose. I'm headed to the top and it's in a coupe, but it only seats one passenger. Shorty bad, never could be mad at her. It's me versus me, no passenger. It's me versus me, no passenger. I've been out here dreaming of the things that I really need. I know that they on now, but I'm working on leg.
Early.
What it do is another episode of Early. What's today? Today is the 20th, August the 20th.
Summer going by, man.
Summer is going by. Motherfuckers is going back to school and shit like that. Yo, you know what's so fucking wild, bro? Just on the subject of school. When I was young and I had summer break, that shit felt like the longest.
Yeah. Right.
Summer break felt like a real ass break, bro. Like, what do they call it? A sabbatical. You know what I'm saying? Like,
fucking season. Like 4 seasons. Yo,
bro,
season,
I feel like it was a week ago when I saw motherfuckers was like out of school. Now like niggas is back in school. I'm like, damn, these summer breaks look short or feel like maybe because I'm an adult and my concept of time is just
that's a fact.
Crazy now.
At the same time too, it's like, oh no, you know, with this fucking pandemic and all this, everything is all out of whack.
Everything's out of whack.
Too,
yeah, that's a big fact. Because
you're right though. It's like, I don't know, just as you get older, the years go by faster. Yeah. So if you're trying to evaluate,
so months must be going by. Months must be going by faster.
Now for real though, 2021 is already half, like 2020.
It's half. It's more than half over.
Yeah, it's trippy.
It's very crazy.
A lot of shit's already happened.
Very exciting episode today. We got a special guest in the building to join us for the conversation. Shout out Duce, man. What it do,
what
man?
Introduce
yourself. Well, first of all, welcome.
Thank you, and thank you guys for having me.
Pleasure to have you on, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm Duce.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. And you know, before we even get started, I just want to say thank you guys for even having me on.
Yeah, bro.
On here today.
Of course,
it means a lot. Like I was telling you guys earlier before the camera started rolling, I've been a huge fan of both of you. Both of you guys for a long time.
Appreciate that, bro.
To be here is it's a blessing.
It's mutual for sure. And we're definitely going to get into the music that you released lately. We was telling you about how I was telling you about how I definitely fuck with your videos that I've seen and everything like that. I was listening to the album yesterday. Very fire, very impressed. Because sometimes you don't know what to expect when you're listening to I'm not gonna call you like a local rapper, but somebody who knows people that you know. You know what I'm saying? You never know what to expect. Because you know, you might feel like they're just pushing them because they're a homie of yours, not because like the work is actually solid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But in this case, the work is actually solid. That's love. So that's very dope. But let's kind of start right there, I guess. You know what I'm saying? How long you been making music and kind of what got you into it?
All right. Well, I've been making music for about like 7 years. Okay. Behind the scenes though, just recently started putting the music out. Maybe like last year. I think it was last year was my first project, my first EP, public EP.
Huh. Why the wait? Was you kind of perfecting your craft? Or?
Well, yeah, I kind of wanted to make sure that when I came out and started doing what we're doing now, I just wanted to make sure that it sounded the way that I wanted it to sound, you know?
Big facts.
And I didn't want it to be rushed. I didn't want it to sound like, you know, like we just started it a month ago and it's like, here we go. We're here now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at the time when I started it, I had recently moved to South Carolina to go to school. So, you know, I was studying to get my degree, sports management, minor in business. Where we at?
You right? Yeah,
I mean, you feel me?
You heard the man.
And you know, I was really focused on that and trying to get everything on that side of my life together before we kind of, you know, experimented and released any actual music. Okay. But I mean, yeah, we've been working at it for like 7 years, 7 plus.
Good, bro, because you know, a lot could be said for, you know, like a cultivation of a sound and not falling into like the instant gratification of wanting to put shit out and seeing how it's received and just really going about your craft where it's like, no, you know, I'm gonna cultivate it. It's gonna be meticulous, but when I'm comfortable with it, you know what I'm saying? And being that we're on greatest critics, it's like, yo, when I get to the point where I feel uncomfortable with it, I'm really gonna feel comfortable with it, and then we're just gonna rock out. Because then I feel it's a matter of, well, when you do come out, and what I do feel you've done a good job is like, I'm gonna keep it consistent.
Yeah,
then I'm gonna keep it consistent because we're not about to and then fade to black.
And then I won't hear from you for another 4 years.
That's another thing. You can plan all of that. You know how you're gonna come into it.
Yeah, and I feel like my fade to black was like, you know, when I was in my dorm room, my $70 mic, or like when I was in my apartment in South Carolina, and we were getting it right out the closet. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like just to make sure the soundproof of you know what I mean. I didn't want to hear the AC unit.
Right.
I didn't want to hear. You know.
I think we can all agree that we've all been in that situation of recording in the crib and everything.
You know.
But bro, like when you think of, at least I know me and my homies, when we think of the, I guess, ingenuity of like trying to turn a regular ass apartment or a regular ass closet into a studio that can compete.
That concept,
you know what I'm saying?
To even think that we can do that,
it was like engineers.
Great. It's great that you think that though.
No,
you know what I mean? Because that's where it sparks the idea of like really being and coming into what you want to become into. You know what I mean? But
and also not being held back. Like, oh, I don't have a studio, so I'm not going to do it.
And I'm not going to, okay, so now I can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, no.
It was like build it. Because at first, me and my homies, we were going to a studio and we were paying that bread. And
in college.
Like, in college, it is like a, what do we got? That's why we kind of all started off as like 3 people on a song. Because it's like, everybody. We got to split this shit. You know what I'm saying?
The studio time was crazy.
Exactly. And then we started, you know what I'm saying? And then one of my homies, Tim, he had a place, and then he made that move to invest in a mic.
Yeah.
And then we all kind of started pitching in, trying to bring different things to the table and things like that to build our own little studio. And then that's where the time and the I guess the ability to start working on solo stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? But still together, still in the presence of your homies.
But you now have more time to create, and you don't have to worry about like the stress of money.
I got to do this on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. You can wake up and get in the booth.
There's gonna be 7 people just staring at me, just like this. Like
that's another thing too. Like how do y'all? I was watching something where I saw Missy Elliott talk about. No one has ever seen her record.
Yeah.
No one has ever seen her record.
Yeah.
Wow.
Missy Elliott. And she was like, she was saying because like she knows she gets weird in the booth and she doesn't want to be, she's kind of self-conscious about seeing people, about her being seen by people getting weird.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of the same way. I don't really like recording around other people. How do y'all feel?
I am right there with you.
Yeah.
Bro. Like it's just me and my engineer E. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's just me and him because I get really weird in there.
Yeah.
You know, to get sometimes
and you want to be able to.
Exactly. Because you want to be comfortable. And like I've also had the situations where it's like I'm in my apartment and there's like 7 dudes from the football team that want to come and record something. And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to have to now do it in front of these 7 people in my little room in my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you do what you got to do, but definitely for the comfortability of things, I'm dolo. Yeah. Like I don't need 1,000 people in there because it's like, I feel like I'm going to get way too distracted because 1, I have ADHD.
Yeah.
And I want to lock in and I want to do what I got to do.
I hear that. How you feel, bro?
Yeah, bro. This is really the question. This is the guy I really want to answer.
I definitely feel Missy like in terms like why she wouldn't have nobody. Because I'm like, why would I ever want to even weigh in any type of external factors when I am trying to pull something out of me? Like that's just like, why even chance it? Like I don't need any of y'all there. I don't need any judgment or any type of weird vibes or whatever y'all going through in the studio. I don't even need that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this ain't no therapy for nobody else or you didn't know what to do with your time or you wanted to see this. This is the actual work. You know what I'm saying? So so to that point, I love recording by myself. Like, I love doing a lot of things just by myself.
Exactly. I mean,
Skip is just recording.
Like fucking like with the recording though, like I actually never mind fucking being with somebody that's also like very like musically inclined or they love this shit because that I like to be around that in the studio. Like I'm like, dog, like I'm picking up things because I love to learn. Yeah, so I love to learn things, and I always feel like there's always like a learning opportunity at any given point. So I'm like, dog, and I'm also like a big believer in terms of like, you know, when you got 2 minds, you could create your third mind. You can create that other synergy too as well. So I always think like, trust me, I get a lot done by myself, or I'll put the art out by myself and create. And kind of like what we were saying before we even just went live, it's like, no, now I'm at the point where it's just very conscious. I'm just very meticulous, but I do understand. No, I want that though. I do want to collaborate, but just more conscious now. Just like you said though, no, it's not like everybody free for all pull up type shit. And it's like, with my music, like even with music type shit, it's like, because I like to do many different things. So this right here will stay enjoyable.
Exactly.
It will definitely stay enjoyable. Like this is not we got to do this and this or that to compromise and that's going to make sense. We like, no. Like this is, we could just keep it to the art. Like,
exactly.
I like this. This is dope. Like
exactly.
I could put my name on, I stand on this. Like this is a product. Type shit.
But I will say once for me, like once I kind of have already done the record or whatever, I'll invite like 2 people to come listen to it that I really respect on their artistry. You know what I mean? Like, because what's your take? Like, how do you feel? But like sometimes I don't want too many people because it's like I know with this song I know what I want.
I know what it is.
So I don't need
nobody kind of changing my mind.
No, nothing at
bro.
all.
So it's funny because like that's my thing, right? Like it's like I don't want nobody changing my mind, or I don't want to be swayed by what that person thinks because that's one person.
Exactly.
It's kind of hard to. It's like I feel like I have a good gauge on what the masses can fuck with. I feel like I have good taste. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have good taste. But to the point what Bruke was saying, where I do believe that it gets to a point where you do need to kind of gauge. I'll use Kanye as an example because he's doing these listening parties,
and I think like this is it is genius.
Really,
I think it is.
Yeah,
because one, you're giving select people a taste of what the rest
is he
of the
changing the albums? Are people listening to different albums every time?
And if they are,
because that'd be
that's
crazy.
insane.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's Kanye. That's so Kanye.
It's like we're watching the creation of the album in real time in a way that we haven't really seen before. You'll see a documentary after the fact,
but not
in real time. Motherfuckers
during
pulling up to the stadium and recording their joints an hour before the show starts.
Insane. Like, it's insane, and people think it's a crazy thing, but really, I don't think it's that crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm taking you on the process. Everybody's always like, whoa, what's the process? Well, here it is.
Yeah. Pull up to the stadium.
Pull up to the stadium with no sound. You can see everything, but there's no sound.
Wait, what do you mean?
So like he was doing, like he had like Fabio Foreign and like a whole bunch of people pull up to like where he was staying at within the Mercedes-Benz stadium. Yeah. And it was like actual footage, like from the security camera. So you can't hear anything. You just see everybody in there.
Oh,
wow.
And you're just seeing that.
You're seeing the reaction.
Yeah. You're almost like seeing the live reaction of everybody else. Well, that's what it was for the Mercedes-Benz joint.
Yeah. Because he got another joint wet in Chicago or something like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
But to that point though, I do think it's interesting because there's a divide. Maybe I don't know if it's a divide, but there's two lines of thought in my head. It's like I know what I'm trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the other side is, well, I want something that is going to be well received. So like, let me get some ears on it. But then again, though, like that's that person's opinion. Even if that person tells me that they don't like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how many of the people that we know that are greats in their craft who were told early on that they were crazy or that won't, T-Pain, for example, that won't work. We don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you gotta know when to listen, when to not. You know, what'd you say?
I was like, they'll say that. The next thing you know, you see a whole generation
inspired by you. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of we were talking about something earlier about maybe kind of like going against norm and stuff like that. And I feel like that's where that lies. Like you got to be strong enough to know. To believe in what you're doing, because usually if it is transcendent, it will not be well received. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we're conditioned to want to be well received. Like we put our work out there and our like ourselves out there, and we want to be well received, bro. But like the kind of the juxtaposition of it is that if it is gonna be timeless, it probably won't be well received in the first moment that it, you know what I'm saying, lands with people.
And if that's the case, then it being fucking well received or not should not be.
Shouldn't be.
Never be a gate.
But again, you want it to.
But just human instinct, just almost like human instinct.
I'm human. I want y'all to like me.
I don't think there's anybody in the world that is ever ready for people to say, for you to be so transparent in something, and then for you to release it, and then them to tell you, oh, we don't like
this
it.
ain't
Right.
it.
But this is
No,
it.
and then for you to be able to take it
I
and be
guess-
okay.
And then be okay with
You know
it.
what I mean?
You gotta be like a Kanye, like a strong-minded
You
person.
gotta be
Yeah,
strong-minded.
like you have to just constantly remember it's not the end all be all.
Exactly.
Like, as long as you know that, you're like, okay, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not on a track. Like you still,
That's
like,
a big
what we
fact.
said, like, or what was even throughout this week. I feel we touched on a lot.
We
Of different
we
topics this
are we
week,
gonna
you
have
know
some
what
of
I'm
those conversations
saying?
again
You
for
know what
sure.
I'm saying? But it's just more so like you can't really gauge your results if you haven't consistently been doing your process.
It can't be a one-off.
You
You can't get this one
yeah.
opinion and be like, this is what it is.
For an
You gotta
amount.
You gotta get a
Then,
lot.
Then you can take a step back and be like, all right, man, I can evaluate this last year.
Yeah.
I just did that constantly, consistently for a year. Gauge. Yeah, you should see now. Now see what it is that you were doing. That probably isn't working. If you did that for
To take that
years
next
straight,
lead,
it
to
didn't-
take that
okay,
next
yeah,
lead.
exactly. So then you can evaluate, but people do that too quick. You know what I'm saying? Too quick to try to switch things up or fall off of whatever it is that they're doing, or take any critique into play type shit, and then they put some in a type of like a paralysis or stagnancy with how they want to move on with things and shit.
Because they're
like,
scared.
yeah, exactly. And it's like a human, right? But at the same time too, it's like you can definitely prevent yourself from like falling into these little like mental traps. Like,
Yo, I got a very good example of what you were just talking about in the sense of, so one of my favorite writers is Seth Rogen. Y'all know Seth
Great
Rogen, right?
writer.
Yeah. So
Great writer.
fucking, he
Shout out
was
Seth
telling
Rogen.
this story of how Superbad came about, and he was saying how it got rejected a bunch of times. Like it got like him and his homie Evan Goldberg, they wrote the script when they were like 17 years old. They were kids when they wrote the script, right? And of course, they were the police officers in the fucking in the movie. So it took them a long fucking time to get that shit made. But he was giving an interview about how, bro, they had wrote it and they were taking notes on it, and like they were you know what I'm saying, pitching it to studios and stuff like that, and everybody was like, this won't work, this is so stupid, no. And he was like, him and his homie had this kind of like ignorance is bliss mindset, where they were like, they knew it was like, it was good, they knew it was what it was, and they literally thought those guys were idiots. It's like, how do you and then go into like a record label and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're crazy. Like,
You're
no,
insane.
This is actually hot. You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about. But you have to stay like
Yeah.
that.
But
you know what I mean?
I'm more
You have to.
asking is like, how do you even like I
How
feel
do you
like
stay
you're
so
born
strong
with it.
minded?
Yeah, it's
How do you
like,
stay
bro,
so
like
strong
how,
minded?
how could you go into a room of people who proven that they
are
know
what
the
they're
lead,
talking
like they're here because like you're in their office. You know
But
what
you
I
got to
mean?
remember that way they've all done it, and it's
In a
just
certain way.
In a certain way.
Yeah.
That's just one way.
Yes,
You know,
I believe that.
and
Yeah.
I believe there's like multiple ways
100%.
of doing this.
100%.
You know what I mean? Being successful. I'm talking about being very successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just,
that's definitely a downfall or a weakness for a lot of people.
Yeah.
that are
They
also
think that
very
there's a
great.
way.
Yeah.
I think we think that especially because of social media and we can see things, people will show us some of their process. They won't show us all of the
Everything.
process because you really can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so many nuances in how things happen that no one person can do the exact same things that another person did and end up with the exact same results, right?
It's almost insanity. Like, that's
Yeah,
what you're gonna
you
drive
can't do that. So I think something that's really interesting is kind of knowing that your path is uncharted. Like, it's okay to just go and see what happens as long as you know where you're going. But where we get kind of caught up is we'll know where we're going, or we'll think we know where we want to go. Like, we'll have the destination in mind.
Yeah.
And now we start looking to, okay, like, how did that person get there? How did that person get there?
Right.
What are the ways of getting there?
And I think
it's like, those rules aren't really rules. They're just how
Exactly.
that
It's
person
just
did it.
guideline.
You
It's
got
almost
to
like
make
just
your own
guideline.
rules.
It's
Yeah.
almost just guideline. You
Yeah.
know, like to piggyback off what you just said of using certain things or certain people as an example of a way to get there, but not sticking completely with that, is like early on, I still do, and he's my favorite artist, Kendrick Lamar. I watched so many interviews just to see how he creates, or like how he even just describes music. And I got to a point where when his interviews would come up, I would be scared, because maybe I think at the time I was just not certain in who I was as a person, that when he would talk about it, like talk about music,
Like, damn.
it's like almost like, bro,
resonate.
It resonates and it's scaring me.
Right.
You know?
Right. That's real. That's real.
That's very interesting.
And it's like, you know, it even speaks to why that day-to-day structure with content or like vlogging content be like very popular, because it's like you're not just seeing a finished product that somebody gives you, but you're seeing the ins and outs. Like, and even somebody that can even do it to the level of like an individual like Gary Vee, you're still not seeing
that's a big fact.
I
was gonna say the first person
picture, and I'm still showing you so much that I'm like, but that is behind
the first person that used to do those. Did y'all ever used to watch those Wiz Khalifa days?
Yeah,
that was when I was like, yo, niggas is really just living like niggas is like cool. Niggas is regular, bro, just living life,
that's the
bro.
Beauty of it, bro. Yeah. Like some people I feel like are just so regular.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, when they do their day-to-days. And like to piggyback off again, Tory Lanez. Another person who does a bunch of day-to-day things. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy to see in one day how much he does. And then another day, it's just like it's just nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear that. I think a lot about you know, the amount of effort that goes into things. So of course, I want to be like wildly successful, and I'm sure like that's kind of what y'all want to do too. Like, but like to the point where you recognize like what you're asking of yourself is abnormal, right? So you got to do abnormal things. Of course, you got to be extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? But something that I do is I tap into people that I look up to, and I listen to their interviews. I listen to as much content as I can. And there's always this kind of, there's always this notion of you do got to like take time. You do like, you know what I'm saying? You got to experience all facets of life. It's not just about work. And sometimes I listen to them and I'm like, well, you know, you've already done it. So you're there. You can look back and be like, you know what I'm saying? I could have spent a little less time, but the fact that you spent all that time is why you are who you are. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I kind of get caught up between, okay, is it cool to rest? Or like, do I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I got more shit to do? Because when I'm looking at those niggas and I'm like, okay, y'all are regular too. But it's like, you're regular now because you can be. You know what I'm saying? You've afforded yourself
ease up on.
You've afforded yourself that ability to be able to ease up because you've accumulated a lot of things, and I'm sure you still have a lot of goals, but you've accumulated kind of the base level of things that now you can realize, okay, I'm different. I feel like I still got to get there. So it's like
we got to work hard.
It's like I feel like I got to be obsessive with my work. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's kind of crazy because you know it doesn't make for a very fruitful life in some ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all work, no play. But it's sacrifices.
You gotta make sacrifices, and then if you're willing to make it and you understand the cost that comes with it, sometimes you don't because you're just after what it is that you want, and then you realize later, like this is what I gave up. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But you know, to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big thing. I think. Kind of even a good segue into some of the things that we have been talking about this week. Me and Bruke was having some crazy conversations this week. A lot about growth. And it's crazy because we have a lot of conversations all the time. But this week in particular, bro, I know I was reflecting myself and I'm like, this might have been...
To interject, I think, you know, what even set it off, it had, you know, evaluating a lot is... Time to Cuff tour.
The event.
Out last week.
Sold out. It was a great event. And the thing is, because of like that has really propelled a lot of introspection as far as like, bro, okay. So Time to Cuff, for all intents and purposes, it was everything that we wanted it to be, right? But there's a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth because I'm like, we could have did it bigger.
Right.
I put the ceiling on my own self in that regard.
We always do.
Bro, and that's what I'm like, and that's what I'm realizing, like, no. I've been living life wrong. Like, because it's like, bro, I know I'm aspirational, right? I know I'm aspirational. So just to use Time to Cuff as an example and why I think I put the ceiling on myself. So we locked in this venue that allowed us to have the most amount of people that we've ever had. So usually when we do these shows, we'll rent out a bar. And bars, the ones that we have done had like limited space. So we usually cap out at around like 80 people. So, but we were selling tickets in like the 50 ranges because we were like, this is an intimate show. And it's not about selling it out.
Sometimes people just pull it up.
And they're public, and they were public. So like the thing is, we would sell like RSV. No, I think actually it was free. It might have been the first one. The first few might have been free. I can't remember, but they were they were packed to capacity, and we can assume capacity is about like 80 to anywhere between like 80 and 90 people, just because of the space of the event space. Fucking the gathering spot where we were for this last one, they had a capacity of about 125 people or something like that. So we were like, okay, we're gonna sell 100 tickets, and that would have been the most we had ever done. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been the most we had ever done, or that was at that point the most we had ever done. So I was like, this is a tall task. You know what I'm saying? Like to sell 100 tickets, like and to be firm about we're not selling tickets at the door. So we need to sell these 100 tickets. We need to fill up these 100 seats before showtime, right? Yeah. So that felt like a tall task. And even in the weeks leading up, it was probably about a week out, and we probably had like 40, 50 tickets sold. So I was still kind of like, it's a tall task. I don't know if we're going to do it. In that last like 3 days, bro, we sold like definitely we sold the rest of the tickets in the last like 3 days. And then when we had posted that it was sold out, that's when like the floodgates opened as far as like more people being like, yo, like I need a ticket. Like, yo, can I still pull up? Yo, can I still pull up? I'll pay extra, all this type of shit. And some people were like, okay, but because that cap was 125, I was like, we can't have more than 125 bodies. So like we did have to turn some people away. Come showtime, the show's going on, and I'm like, bro, there's hella space in here. There's still hella space. I'm like, bro, we could have did like 250. We could have did 250. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like I capped myself. Like I was so nervous about hitting that 100. And it was like a couple days after I had heard an interview, and somebody was like, dog, like whatever goal that you set, you will hit it. It just takes some. It just if you're patient enough, you will hit the goal. And then I was like, yeah, like I said 100 and we hit 100, and I was scared the whole time. Exactly, but we hit it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And what that does for your next joint, it's like
I need 100,000 next time. You know what I'm saying? I need 100,000 next time. But it's like, if we hit 1,000, then fine, whatever.
Exactly.
But I'm like, no, I'm never doing.
It's almost like going it with no expectations.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, that's a big fact. But for me, I'm like, okay, from now on, the thing that feels uncomfortable, I'm even on above that. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 feels uncomfortable.
I think
we need 10,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and me and Brooke were even kind of talking about it after, and we were talking about the turnout and everything like that, and then started kind of brainstorming on what we would do next. And I remember I was about to fix my lips to be like, well, you know what I'm saying? We should just kind of scale it back. Brooke, right before I had even said that, Brooke was like, nah, we need to think about getting, he was like, nah, we need to think about getting like a celebrity co-host so that we can draw like 1,000 people. I was like, yeah. You know, so like, yeah. Because the thing is, the amount, I mean, really what it boils down to is the money that it takes to pull these things off. You know what I'm saying? And this one was self-funded. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we figure out the plays that it takes to get some external funding, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then increase the capacity of people so that the upside can be greater. We were capped at 100, so the upside was limited. You know what I'm saying? Like once you hit 100, you can't do much after that. You know what I'm saying? And that was what the venue was limited to. So it's like, if you can put yourself in a situation where you can maximize your upside or make the potential kind of like limitless, then the money that you put in is just to make the best possible experience, and you will make it back. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about framing it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely, all this week, I was just like, dog, like, in what ways so in Time to Cuff, it was that. But now I'm thinking, like, in what other ways am I like, do I got a lid on myself that I just don't know about? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's 100%. And it's like, when you think about all of this, like, now when you take it into factors, like, you have the platform. It's like, yo, you have something to stand on. So even the reach is like, to even put that thing into play, it's like, it's just a matter of just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will be receptive to wanting to do it or whatnot. And like, even towards the cap, like you said, it's like, and making it so that, oh, you don't have to sell out capacity to make the return make sense. It's like, oh, half the capacity is the return back. Yo, we gotta sell this shit all the way out.
Yeah,
like,
and that was the fucked up thing, is that it was very like dependent point, on like I was telling Alex and Teresa, I was like, we gotta sell 100 tickets, dog. Like, because it's like, we had to sell 100 tickets, and we had to make sure everybody drank so we could sell alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of dynamics, and this was all like a learning thing. This was the biggest thing that I'd ever like planned for me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was the biggest thing I'd ever taken on. You know what I'm saying? But Alex was very sure that we were going to hit that 100. Like, she was very sure. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of made me feel good, but also I was like, it don't. You know what I'm saying? Until I see it, I'm not convinced. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that she was very convinced should have made me be like, oh, well, like let's go for 2 then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should have made her uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But it's all like living and learning. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
But I would even relate that back to you, Duce. Like, in what ways do you feel like you've noticed yourself putting a ceiling on yourself, and how, if you whether you realizing it now or what you're going to do moving forward, how would you like remove that? How would you take that off?
That's actually a really good question. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take my time with it.
Yeah, let's start with the first part. Let's start with the first part. In what ways do you feel like you've had a ceiling on yourself?
Man, in a way of thinking that I didn't think anybody was gonna listen.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's me. No one's gonna listen to this.
Like,
so why would anyone?
And,
like,
and it's
why
crazy. And it's crazy to think about that. It's crazy to think that. But I mean, you know, I used to always tell my boys, like, yo, man, if one person that I don't know reaches out to me and tells me that they listened to it and they enjoyed it, that's a million people.
Accomplished.
That's a million people to me. I'm not really big on numbers. I've never really been like that. But if I can spark the idea, or if I can spark anything of you can do it too, then I've won in my mind. You know what I mean? Sure. But yeah, I thought that nobody would listen. Yeah. You know, when I first
me versus me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I just didn't think anybody
would that name, by the way, too. Because I feel like, and I'm gonna ask you where you like what the inspiration was for you. But I know for me, when I heard that or saw that, it reminded me of something that we were talking about maybe 1 episode or 2 episodes ago, where I was saying, bro, like, life is really like a 2-player game between your conscious self and like your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, because your brain will say things and do things and like tell you things that you have to consciously be like, I agree with that or I don't agree with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's in your brain because other people might have put it there. You know what I'm saying? You might have been consuming some content and then just kind of snuck in there and camped out in like a little hidden place that now pops out in a random time. But like your thoughts aren't always yours. And sometimes you got to be able to control them. And that's why I'm always like, like life is like a game between you versus you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with that, like, delve into, I guess, you know, the project.
The
latest project, how that even came about, inspiration for it. It's very pertinent.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys a lot. So 2019, I dropped my first project ever, which was a 7-song EP. Hi, my name is Duce. Mm-hmm. And it was just like almost like the, hey, I'm here, and this is kind of this is my take on what music is, through my eyes, through my lens, right? So then after that, I received more than enough love on that, right? And it was almost like I think I cried maybe like 2 days straight. That's and crazy. It's real facts, like it's real shit, bro. Like that shit touched me because that was me coming out after 5+ years of doing that shit
in the closet,
and in the cut, and me showing my face like, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? So then that happened, and you know, emotionally, I was on an emotional high. Like it was like whoa, this is insane. Yeah, like people really like this. Like they like this shit. And then I was fortunate enough to have a concert like right after that, and it was at the State Theater. Shout out to my brothers. The Dobre brothers, I was fortunate enough to open it up for them. Those are like my lifelong friends, lifelong childhood friends. And I love those guys to death for giving me that opportunity to get on a stage and really rock out in front of some people, man.
Yeah.
That was a big blessing for me.
That was a lot. That was a big crowd too.
Yeah, that's bro. And that was my first show ever. Crazy. I had never got on the stage.
Because like I think that might have the nerves would have started kicking in.
Yeah,
that was a big crowd. I performed before live, but like not in front of a crowd like that. That looked like it was a stadium, low key.
So it was definitely a nice sized venue, man. Like and like I was saying, shout out to those guys because they actually had been on tour. So they did like a little tour all around. Yeah. So they did like LA, Miami, this, this, and third. So then when they came home for the hometown show, because they're from Maryland. Okay. So when they came and did the hometown show, they asked me to open up, and I was just like, what is this? Yeah. Like, what do you mean? So, I'm getting there, we're doing sound check. I'm like, oh my God, like this is insane to me right now, right? So we do sound check, everything. So we get
this is what Lil Wayne does.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy to me right now. This is crazy. So then we get ready to go on stage. I get ready to go on stage, and then they're like, "Hey, we're about to tell them to turn the lights off and like get the fog going, and tell the kids to like put their phone lights up." I'm like, "Dog, there's no way you guys are gonna do this. There's no way." And I walked out there, and then it's almost like I blacked out. Yeah, I went into a state of, okay, I was nervous, but God has me here for a reason. Facts. Like I wouldn't be here for no reason. Facts. So. We got on that stage and we rocked out. Like we did 2 tracks and rocked out, and those kids were like screaming for me, like they've known me their whole life. And in that moment, I tell people, man, that moment for me stays with me forever. That'll never leave me ever, because that was a blessing, and I was very blessed. So that happened, and then boom, COVID. Yeah, right. Literally. I was working on a lot of things that I wanted to do. I wanted to get out there and do a couple more shows or whatever.
Once you do that first show, you
know what I mean?
You can't go back into the closet after that first experience. You definitely want to start. It's like, okay, when can I do this again? Yeah, yeah. How soon? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. For sure.
And that's how I was feeling. I was like, man, let's really get it. And then, then COVID kind of happened. And then that's kind of where my mind started playing tricks on me, almost to the point where it was like, what are we doing? Like what are we really doing here? Are we going to be able to make a difference with what we're doing? Am I good enough to make a difference? Am I good enough to get this from the basement? Right. Oh, so these things start playing in my head, and then, then life happens and what have you. And then you start to see, for me personally, I started to see myself within a battle between myself. And it was like, we're good where we're at right now, but how can we take it further? Or, it's the good thing. We were thinking about the good things, and then the bad things were outweighing those good things for me. So then I was in a writing's block for like, I want to say 3 months. Wow. And then I gained like 20 pounds, like 30 pounds, bro. Like I was 215. You feel me? Like quarantine ate me up. Like that first half of quarantine ate me up. And then, but then, like life started to, not all, the rain's going to stop. Right. At some point. It's going to stop at some point. Yeah. And those clouds are going to open up. And I felt like on that back half, that's what happened with me. Yeah. And then we started to indulge in the thoughts of what was going on in quarantine and forming it into an art form. Right.
Yeah. That analogy of the rain is gonna stop is a very good one, because I do. What's interesting? We were just talking about the time to cuff. Something that I kind of like realized, which I didn't necessarily realize until kind of this week, is that I was definitely in like a depressive kind of fog. Yeah. In the 2 months leading up to it. You know what I'm saying? But because I was so like focused on making this happen and making this a dope event, I was like, I had to focus on something. But to your point about the rain and things like that, I was definitely thinking about that. I'm like, yo, like, and kind of how I know when I'm in like my little funk is when I'm not getting up early. Yo. I'm not like I'm sluggish. I'm sluggish. I'm laying around in bed. I'm not hopping up out of bed. I don't know what I'm gonna do during the day. I kind of am like figuring. I'm kind of figuring out like, okay, these things I gotta get done, and I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's 12 o'clock now. I'll do it before 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my days look very ugly. You know what I'm saying?
That was quarantine, bro. Like honestly,
and that's the thing. So the thing is, I didn't want to blame it on quarantine, because quarantine started a year and a half ago ish, and this was a couple months ago that I'm talking about. But also, it was a trickle effect, because it definitely started there, and it wasn't until the last couple months when I'm like, no, like I need to snap out of this, dog. better days are here.
They're coming.
Like they're coming, but it's like I gotta prepare myself for them. Like they're not like I'm not gonna be like the sun isn't gonna come out and then I'm gonna be all like, oh yeah. I gotta kind of get myself like that now so that when the sun is out, I'm ready to just go outside.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's something that I realized. I mean, I didn't realize it recently. I was realizing it as it was happening, and I feel like now I'm kind of starting to take the actions, because the thing is, like, step 1 is realizing. Step 2 is doing something. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's kind of hard. A lot of people who are depressed, they know they are. It's the reason that they just stay that way is because it's hard to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't know where to start to get out of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask y'all a question really quick? You know, So it's like we know the roles are switching right now. They're switching.
The interviewee has become the interviewer. Let's go.
So in 2020 for you guys, how did you? What did you guys experience? Like in that, like, did you emotionally, spiritually, physically? What was that like for you guys?
Personally, to be honest, I was just. You're good. Nah, I was just very grateful and very blessed because it was a very like tumultuous time for a lot of people throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? And it was very weird because I'm not gonna hold you. Like, it was as if like a lot of things were just happening right for me. Like a culmination of things I had done was just also like, wow, this is crazy. Like, so I had to just be on some, give back tip. I just had to pay it forward. Like, I just had to pay it forward and just be, that's how I was. So I just started coming more into this realization. I was like, just never have to subscribe to this lack of mind state. Like, like everything's going to be, just keep pushing.
Just
like,
keep moving.
And it's because, and I resonate, you know what I'm saying? Because I've definitely had my low states, but I've been able to, for myself, because the mind and like keeping that shit
that's
all the way solid.
That's Bruke right there.
Like, very important. That's just very important. But like, definitely have to like form some type of like tools or like your own type of filter mechanisms for your own self. You know what I'm saying? Because like how you had said it, you know what I'm saying? You can't start buying into these thoughts that not really even native to your own brain, or they're not even there. You're just like, it's like an illusion. Like, no, don't buy into that. You know what I'm saying? Just got to feed the good shit, and then keep active. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time too, when you keep active, not so much to the point where you're trying to numb yourself or forget that whatever you're going through, you're still gonna have to acknowledge it. It will have.
You can't ignore it.
It has a residue, or it does leak, or you will not be taking something into account, and something will be suffering. Yes. Right? So and if it's, and then when it's suffering, and then there might be an outlash or outbreak from that, and now it's just like like a cause and effect type of thing, and that just snowballs into whatever. But like, so that the whole shit just kind of just. And get like just way more disciplined, just being disciplined, being grateful. And then into 2021, now this shit's just seeming like a blur, like not in a bad way.
2020, right?
It's just 2021.
Oh, 2020.
Like 2020 wasn't like that too.
You felt like you were living it, right?
Like, 2020. We was in it. But 2021, this year is just kind of like it's like everything is fast. But not just the actual year we're experiencing, like everything is fast. The tech is fast. The information is fast. Everything's happening just so fast. Like, it's just so much things happening. So like now more than ever, it's like, you gotta just, I don't know, like you gotta have your faculties in order, dog, and everything, like attention is the biggest commodity nowadays. I mean, and it's been so for a while.
But I feel like now it's like
everything is trying to impress upon your attention. So you gotta realize, like, people capitalize off of that attention. So make sure whatever it is in your life that you're giving attention to, that's your intent. You giving that attention.
You want to do it.
It is important
to you
to do that. Whatever's your craft, whether that be your relationships in your life, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, but don't make sure you're not just, you know what I'm saying, just giving it away unconsciously.
That's what I especially like. I there's so much I want to say on that, but everything you said was exactly kind of how I felt.
My 2020 it was very, what's crazy is like, I resonate with you in the sense of like, I was going, I felt like this is my time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, like, I got nothing but time on my hands. Everybody's kind of like on chill right now. Right. And that's, so I run a home healthcare agency, and during that time, it was like we were figuring out how to make things remote. Yeah. And that was the thing. Everybody was doing things remotely, and that was cool with me. I was like, loved it. Bet. I love it. Because
and we're still a little remote. So I love
exactly.
It.
So it was like, oh, like this is very, I like this, right? Yeah. The thing is, I got used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Which is, it could be good and bad, because like we said, like people are still trying to be working from home, and people are still trying to be doing things remote. And it's like, I was cool with doing it because that's where the world was at that time. But it's not, I don't think it's very conducive for me, because when I become a homebody, like 24/7,
stagnant. Right?
It does start to feel a little bit depressive. You know what I'm saying? It just starts to feel like, fuck, like, I mean, the thing is, I really honed in on my craft because I was a homebody. Like, that's why I even became very good at what I do, is because I am naturally a homebody. So when the homies were like, yo, it's Saturday night, we're going out, I'm like, I got no interest. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good.
Yeah, like because I was, you know what I'm saying? But when it turned into a literally 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, you got to be in the house. it got weird. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely, 2020 was cool in the sense of like, I made a lot of dope strides, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm feeling the residual effects right now, in the sense of I do got to actively, consciously get myself up and out of the crib. Like even now, we're back in the office and everything like that. But I also, like, over the last couple of months, I fucked up my Achilles, so I had to kind of be home bound. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that kind of played into it too. It's like, so now the person I am today, it's like I gotta consciously get out the house for a few hours. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find something to do out the house for a few hours, even though most of my work gets done here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta kind of incorporate getting out a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've realized about myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's kind of how I snap myself up out of that like sad state, that depressive state. It's like, it's got to be me. Like, no one's gonna do that shit for me, bro. And the thing is,
tell you
big facts, because the thing is, like, a part of me did kind of think like, oh, a circumstance will change it, a situation will change it. You know what I'm saying? But no. Like, you won't even find those until you start doing it and getting that ball rolling. 100%. So like, I'll say 2020 was good, but also it was eye opening. And I hate how people kind of, not that I hate it, I notice how people will kind of like dog 2020. I got no ill feelings for 2020. Like,
besides all the global things that that happened, you know what I mean?
100%.
But I think for creatives, like people that, you know, are trying to
there's a silver lining.
Break out of that 9 to 5 thing. Yeah. It gave us a chance to really hone in on what we've started with our 9 to 5 and having all these other things that we had to do.
Yeah.
But now you're telling me we can cut out half of that?
Yeah.
And we can just lock in?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm glad that it made the world figure out how to be more efficient.
Yes.
And stop wasting motherfuckers' time and stop telling people to pull up places that they don't need to pull up to.
Wasting time.
Exactly. So I feel like that was a good thing from it. You know what I'm saying? And they're talking about we might be going back to that. Are y'all hip to like the
Delta?
I don't know. Like, how serious do you think it is that we actually go back to lockdown?
You know,
I want to ask Brooke.
I mean, I'm just seeing the precautions everything else is taking. I'm like, damn, it's looking like shit about to
go back.
Really?
Hey, yo,
like back to quarantine, stay in your home.
Yeah, like, it's just, you know, I just look at it from a global basis. So like New Zealand, they just had one case. They just shut down everything.
They had one case of the Delta.
They had one case.
Yeah.
They shut down everything.
But see, but you see, people look, so like, we might laugh at that. But the thing is, like, that kind of proactivity is what people wish the U.S. had. Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been in this situation in the first place. That's what they thought. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting. But also, like, I mean, to me, I think the plan for staying at home has to be better. Like, I think it shouldn't be that we stay at home and then the economy goes to shit, or like everybody, like people are mad about having to stay home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, I don't know. I'm not the person to figure out how to do this, but like, there's just got to be some kind of
a better way.
There's got to be a way, and there's got to be more cooperate. Like, the people who, there's people who are just being uncooperative, you know what I'm saying? Just for the fact that like, I live in the land of the free. Okay, but like, why are you being anti? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like just because you're free doesn't mean you need to be anti, like let's all be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Anti everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're using your freedom of speech just to talk to the other side, even whether you believe the other side or not. You just want to be on the other side. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man, if to me, I'm not going to say what the mandates should or should not be. I just know that everywhere I go, I wear a mask just because, like, you know, I still want to live life. I do still want to live life, but also I don't want to be a detriment. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like a detriment or even considered one. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting how like people want to be outside, but they don't want to wear masks, or people, you know what I'm saying, don't want people to be they're inside and they don't want people to go outside. And
on your own term type.
Yeah, it's like everybody thinks that their way is the best way and that everybody should be doing what they say. It's fucking crazy.
I think we gotta just I feel like when the world realizes coming together and figuring it out together is the way we're gonna excel. Yeah, I feel like, you know, things will change.
But I feel like tell me what y'all feel. I feel like that's kind of a futile thing. Like it's never gonna happen. We'll never all actually come together.
It's never gonna happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can dream.
Shout out to Martin. Martin died dreaming before this. You know what I'm saying? But it's just because, like, I mean, I think it's just because there's, like I said, like there's too many people who they're gonna die
stuck in their own ways.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they want to be anti. So it's like
in their ways.
What's crazy is that the solution for this is for us to together do one thing. That's the solution. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand how they don't realize
inherently can't happen because people don't want to, like, literally white people don't like black people, so they, you know what I'm saying? It's like things like that will prevent us from ever doing that. You know what I'm saying? Then you have these countries that, you know what I'm saying, they're able to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to Sauce the Culture. That's Jaquay, who was on here last week. Shout out to Jaquay. What it do, Brody? Yeah, appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, man. So I feel like that's where it is. But yeah, what do y'all think?
Shit, man. I think we could take it to a little commercial and get to them other topics.
All right, bet.
On the list for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll be back in a little bit.
What's goody, everybody? This is Bruke Facile, and you are now tuned into Early, the morning podcast, where we talk about a multitude of different topics, where you're bound to hear something that's of interest to you as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to It's Nation TV. If you're catching this on Facebook, go ahead and go ahead and comment, engage with us, and you can go ahead and follow me at Bruke Facile, and you can follow my Brody Mek at itsnation.com.
Y'all know I make a lot of podcasts, and every podcast needs a website. Literally, I've tried to put all of my podcasts on one website, It's Nation TV, but I've definitely gotten to a point where I've realized that in order for each podcast to grow individually on its own, each podcast needs its own website. And the easiest way to make a website for your podcast is on podpage.com. Like, literally, it's the easiest way to make a website for your podcast. Like, dog, I'll do it right now. Like, literally, all you got to do is go to podpage.com. You know what I'm saying? If you got your podcast on Apple Podcasts, you literally type the name of your podcast in. You know what I'm saying? You type in the email for your account, and boom, it literally, dog, I don't know how it does it. It's magic. It literally pulls up a bunch of different website templates from your podcast. And that's not even the crazy part. What's crazy is all of this is free. They got different tiers. They got a pro tier, they got a basic tier, then they got the free tier. You know what I'm saying? The pro tier is definitely the way to go if you're taking your podcast seriously. But like with all of the tools that podpage.com gives you, it's well worth the bread, that it is. Check the link in the description to get started with podpage.com. It's literally going to be the best thing you've done for your podcast. We're back. Yeah, so it's about time to, you know what I'm saying, wrap it up a little bit. We creeping up on that hour. Duce, bro, let us know what you got going on, bro. First of all, this conversation was very fire, bro. You fit in very well with you know what I'm saying, everything that we were talking about and everything like that. Definitely great having you on as a guest, but definitely let people know what you got going on and how they can keep up with you and everything.
Oh man. Well, all socials, it's I am Duce _. I am _Duce. Sorry, it's still a little early.
Yeah.
But
do you see?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's I am _DUCE.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brooke, for that, because
the
the Duce thing is DUESE. It's like I feel those guys, but that's not me, baby girl. That's not me. It's like nah, but we just dropped Me Versus Me. Very thankful for that.
How's the reception been on your end?
Oh man,
yeah.
It's just from the outpour of love on this one, it's just been ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's almost to the point where I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just so thankful. I'm just so thankful that so many people have replayed it. So many people have shared it. So many people have reached out to me and said, wow, I didn't know that I needed this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And for somebody to tell me that, it's almost like, wow, like I'm just so thankful. I'm just so blessed that that's how you guys received it. Because that's how I made this album. Mm-hmm. I made it like that so you could really, like I said, spark the idea of something else. Like you don't gotta be the neighborhood Big Meech, bro. Like you can really just live within your truth and be who you are, and you'll be perfectly fine.
Big facts.
And people will listen. They'll listen to you. You know, and now we're just working on a couple little sneak peek things. Little things that some visuals coming up. Because I just definitely don't want to saturate everything. So I told myself I was gonna give it about a month. Right. So we're creeping up on that month. Mm-hmm. So got some things dropping. So stay tuned.
That's very dope. On our end, what do we got? I know. Yeah, Time to Cuff was a very dope experience. I appreciate everybody that came through, everybody that helped out. I don't know about Brooke. I had a blast. You know what I'm saying? It was dope, bro. Very fire event, and I'm definitely we were definitely talking about like how to do things bigger and better the next time. So, it's only and that it's crazy because like I was saying with this whole conversation, like that really sparked thought of. Like, how can I take the ceiling off in other places in my life, bro? Like, the lid needs to come off the jar. Like, that's what I keep saying that shit in my head, literally. Like, dog, I gotta take the ceiling off. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely. Oh yeah, shout out to John. Said great experience. Yeah, bro, and appreciate you on the tunes, man. Had John on the boards. You know what I'm saying? The whole night, yeah. I feel like everybody. I feel like literally, bro. It's like everybody came together. From the production standpoint, like everything came together the way that it needed to. Every person that was involved came and did their thing in the way that we needed them to. It was like so dope, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Brooke was going around with the camera. Tim was going around with the camera. The guy Rico, who I met that night, you know what I'm saying? Decided to like 2106, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Chopped it up with him for a little bit, and he just decided to stay and help with the camera work. Right. And he does like fire work, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't have even imagined some help like that. Like that was like God giving me an angel to help me out that night, you know what I'm saying? And then Teresa, you know what I'm saying, did a lot of work, and Teresa and Alex did a lot of work on the back end to make everything go smoothly leading up to that. You know what I'm saying? I had some of my cousins come and pull up to help and give us a hand. Of course, Chase, Tim, Jaquay, they all came into town. And what's another crazy thing is how many of my homies from like Hampton and Virginia came out. Like it was really like a reunion. It was really dope. So yeah, I'm kind of like, you know what I'm saying, on cloud 9 from that, but also like super relieved, you know what I'm saying? Super relieved that it's over. Ready to start planning the next one. The next one is going to be bigger and better, bro. Like we're just going to go ahead and stamp that right now. Yeah, like there's no scaling back at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like just even for me, bro, like in my head, I'm like, I don't even want to do that. Like there's no, like I can only like, there's no scaling back at for anything that I do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Never think like that.
Yeah.
It's almost for all of us though.
What's crazy is I never thought that I thought like that. That's the crazy part. I always thought I was like super ambitious. I mean, I am. You know what I'm saying?
But we are human.
But we're human.
We have these
and
emotions.
we kind of have these kind of like negative thoughts, and we have these little things in our head that are like, but can you do that?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, who are you that thinks that you could do that? You know what I'm saying? But again, when life plays out, you hit the target that you wanted to hit. It happens. So it's like, why not set your target bigger, bro? Because like, like you're gonna hit the target. You're going to. It might not be in the first attempt. You know what I'm saying?
Second,
but if
third,
it might not be the second or the third or the fourth. But as long as you're persistent, you will hit it. So you might as well. And that's kind of where I'm like, okay, like we have hit every target that we've set, but like they've all been marginally bigger. And now it's like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, let's see what happens when we fall short. You know what I mean? Not play it safe so that you know you hit the target. That's the thing. It's like setting a safe target so you know you're gonna hit it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean, in the beginning, I think, in the beginning stages, that's how you
gotta get the ball rolling.
You gotta get the ball rolling. You gotta the confidence. It's almost like you gotta get that confidence.
Exactly.
But once you get that little bit of confidence, it's like, well, let's just go ahead and take a bigger step than what I was already thinking. You know what I mean? Let's take that idea and let's build on that.
Big facts. Yeah. So I would say let's just go ahead and make that the theme for this week, dog. Like if y'all are watching this, you know what I'm saying? Make that the theme for your week as well. Like whatever lid you got on yourself, take that shit off, bro, because you're gonna be satisfied. You're gonna either you're going to be satisfied with you hitting your target, or you're going to literally grow from attempting to hit such a large target. Because like, bro, something like I felt super stretched in just trying to make this show happen. Like I felt like this was something, it's the hardest thing, one of the hardest things I'd ever had to do since I like tried to build a production company. One of the hardest endeavors, you know what I'm saying? But even that being said, like now I'm here like, that shit felt like it was easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I did something easy. So definitely if you're watching this, make that the theme for your week as well. Whatever lids you got on, take that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Don't put the ceiling on yourself. That's the craziest thing, because you don't put the ceiling on your own self. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like don't put it on your own self. You know what I'm saying? But unless any of y'all got anything else to say, we're going to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, get out of here.
So, man. See you next week.
Yeah, everybody have yourself a great weekend. We will see you real early next week. Early.